I don't think you get that on CNN so much, maybe, but it's on CBC TV all the day long. Yeah. All right, so here's a little number called, what is that called? I can't see it. It's in dark. Grimshaw Road. Oh, yes. So here's a little number called Grimshaw Road.
Title track off of our latest album.
Title track off our latest album.
Called?
Grimshaw Road. Funny enough. I was walking in the darkness where I was bound I did not know. Suddenly I found myself walking down the Grimshaw Road. Walking down the Grimshaw Road. I saw bare apple trees like skeleton hands, ghostly shapes in the pale moon glow. I saw stone fences and a boarded up church down on the Grimshaw Road. Down on the Grimshaw Road. And I went down to the river by the Grimshaw Road. Though I stared into its cold black waters, felt a shiver through my soul. And I swear I saw the devil himself. He was beckoning to me. He was handing me a bottle saying that this will set you free. This will set you free. Then from somewhere in the distance I heard a choir soft and low, and that sweet music drifted through the mist and shrouded the Grimshaw Road. Shrouded the Grimshaw Road. No, an angel held me by my hand, spoke these words at night. There are lost souls in all this wilderness. You will be their light. Well, I was walking in the darkness where I was bound I did not know. But suddenly I found myself walking down the Grimshaw Road. 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 Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Yeah, he told me that. After every song, we're going to stop
and tell a stupid joke.
That was like 11 seconds ago. Short-term memory. So it's great to be here. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much. This next song we're going to do, we're looking at putting a new album out in the new year. It'll be our 4th album, and we want to have it a semi-dedicated blues album. We're going to do 5 covers, and we're going to do 7 or 8 originals. And this is one of the covers from Blind Snooks England. Gotta check it out. I found this album in a bin. It was scratched and warped, and it played the best. Well, it's the only one that played really on the album. The rest of it was really scratched and whoom, a tang. But anyways, there was this album. You can check it out on YouTube. Blind Snooks England, Still Water or By the Water. So I hope you do it justice. I got a little girl, yeah. Why when she's with me now? But when I'm not around, she's busy, busy as can be. Still waters, I gotta know they run deep, yeah, run deep. Well, she can tell real pretty lies, but she cannot look me in the eye. Still water, them deep water, I gotta know, they run deep. Oh, you better run deep. Mr. David White on the far right. Help me out now. Everybody knows, say they all know my troubles. Oh, but I've been hurt so bad. Sometimes I think I'm seeing double. Oh, I'm talking still water. I gotta know they run deep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Still water. I gotta know they run deep. Blind Snooks England. Thank you. Testify. All right. Next. Since we're not rolling, I can tell totally inappropriate jokes now? No, I usually tell just ridiculously childish, immature, totally safe jokes.
It's true.
All right. This next tune is a lovely tune. I hope you'll like it. It's called Afraid of the Wrong Things. I've been so careful to not break anything. Careful to not make waves. To not start something. Not look the other way. Not kept my voice down. The words were not my own. My own were hidden. So many roads untaken, so much beauty unseen. Words of love unspoken, for all this time I've been afraid of the wrong things. Afraid of the wrong things. I sang those songs for you. I kept my distance. The words were not my own. My own were hidden. So many roads untaken, so much beauty unseen. Words of love unspoken, for all this time I've been afraid of the wrong things. Afraid of the wrong things. You offered everything. I'd ever dreamed of. But I could not accept this perfect gift of your love. Afraid of the wrong things. Afraid of the wrong things. Afraid of the wrong things. Afraid of the wrong things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I know you guys are impressed. You're saying, wow, is that a real kazoo?
It costs a lot of money.
Yeah. So, once again, thank you for having us here at the Fallout Shelter. Thank you for coming. Later on in the show, we have a guest, another Massachusetts lady here that we met at NERF a few years back, and whenever we're in the vicinity, she comes up and joins us. So you're going to have a treat. This next tune is called Mama, and my wife and I, if you're watching right now, hi, Dar. And for all the kids in our home daycare, Darlene, my wife, has in Quebec they call it in Garderie, a daycare, and this is their favorite song. They have kid songs too, you know, Skinnamarink and Jinky Jink and all that stuff. And they don't listen to that. They're like, as soon as they walk in the house, Mama, Mama, because it's fast and they get to run around the island and bash into one another. But don't worry, we have insurance for that. So here's a little tune called Mama. Mama, what you gonna do? Mama, what you gonna do? Well, I got no money and the rent is overdue. I pedal my wares from here to Kalamazoo. Pedal my wares from here to Kalamazoo. I can sell my pies to my friends and the neighbors too. You don't have to worry about a thing. Got some plans to make a book or two. So just let that doorbell ring. Got no money, no money. Mama, what you gonna do? Mama, what you gonna do? Got no money and the rent is overdue. Is that? You call that folk music? Sounds like bug music. You don't have to worry about a thing. Got some plans to make a buck or two. So just let that doorbell ring. Got no money, no money. Mama, what you gonna do? Mama, what you gonna do? That's right, dance. Got no money and the rent is overdue. 3 weeks I'm waiting for that run money, honey. 3 weeks. All right. Thank you. Yeah, even the grown-ups like it. Hey, you know what? Every time I hear that song, it reminds me of the Flintstones. Remember the Way Outs? Bug music. Neil, sorry, can you pass me that mug of water right there? I'll just, oh, there we are. Just put it right here with me. Oh, there we are, thank you. spin it around this way. You're not in a rush, are you? Well, that's how long it'll take, I'm telling you. I don't do nothing all night long. I don't even sleep all night long anymore. Greetings. We're all here, man. We're all here. At the Fallout Shelter. Here in Norwood, Massachusetts.
All right.
We had an interesting time here. We were here in, well, this is our third time in Massachusetts. The first time we were, where were we again? Where the whale thing is?
Oh, New Bedford.
Bedford, New Bedford. We're in New Bedford. People drive like maniacs in New Bedford. We now, since then, we call this move a New Bedford. Look, you pulled a New Bedford. That's when you're going this way, and the car that's coming this way goes right in front of you to go that way. It's like, man, it happened again. And then it happened again. It's like, wow, everybody does it. I guess it's a New Bedford. All right. So here's a tune called The Great Divide. I hope you like it. We do. I'd cut through 100 miles of bedrock to get back home to you. I've been running around like a circus clown. I don't see much else to do, but I think I'm gonna find you. Wanna travel around this great big world with you. And I saw peach trees in Georgia, grapevines in Rome. Caught a big sea bass from the back of a boat. I ran a marathon of hope. But I wish you were here with me. I wanna travel around this great big world with you. And oh my love, it's been so long since I shared a single moment with you. My hopes and dreams will be realized when I cross that great divide to you. When I open my eyes each morning, see the sun and sky so blue. I take a walk through the park when it gets dark. Think I'm walking along with you. Well, I'm praying that I'll find you. Wanna travel around this great big world with you. Oh, and oh, my love, it's been so long since I shared a single moment with you. Though I live on, and the day grows long till I cross that great divide to you. Wrong, spend another day with you to say the things I never said and I always wanted to, just to cry and laugh together. Wanna travel around this great big world with you, just to share our lives together. I'm traveling around this great big world with you, just to cry and laugh together. I'm traveling around this great big world. God bless, man. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Having fun? Me too. Food's good, snacks galore. You even have proper beer. Proper ales for a bunch of Canadians. None of that Coors Light, eh? They're not sponsoring you. Yeah.
Oh, there's a terrible deal.
That's only if it comes in aluminum cans. All right. How about we go to church? You want to go to church? I'm going to take you to church. It's a song that Neil wrote. It's called I've Got a Friend. You got a friend. We got a friend. We got a friend in heaven, but we got a friend right beside us, and you got a friend in Canada. And we have a friend in U.S. We do. I live on the border, so my wife and I, we're in the U.S. all the time, you know. Smuggling groceries right back home. We like your dairy and your cheese and your butter. All right, so here's a song called I've Got a Friend. Well, I've got a friend whom I can depend on. I say when times get rough, all through the good and the bad, he never leaves my side. I've got a friend on whom I can depend. And if I'm lost or I'm lonely, he's just a prayer away. He hears all the things that I need to say. 'Cause in him we find I can leave all the troubles behind. I've got a friend on whom I can depend. Come on, Dave. Are you with me now? And don't you know it's not a problem, yeah, Lord, that he cannot solve. And don't you know it's not a hurt, oh, it can't take away. Say you can trust in him, and you can lean on him, and you can have a friend on whom you can depend. And though many trials, temptations, they may come my way, all you gotta do is get down on your knees and pray. We all need some help. We need a guide. I need him. He never leaves my side. I've got a friend. I've got a friend. I've got a friend on whom I can depend. God bless you now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what's next in the box, in the Cracker Jack?
Song about a cat. Yeah, we like cats.
This is where I get to break out the kazoo.
All right. All right, you're going to finally play that thing, eh?
I'm finally going to play that thing.
There's two kinds of cats.
All right. So thank you once again for being a wonderful, beautiful bunch of folks. For those of you who have been waiting, I will be breaking out the yellow kazoo today. I chose the yellow one because I'm not feeling blue. And a little bit, it's very hard to get in Juilliard for kazoo lessons. I mean, but I've been,
Working on
just working on them, sending them letters for like 15 years now, and I think they're going to finally start a kazoo course, advanced classes. This is the right key, eh? What
Check
key
it,
are we?
check it.
Master.
There it is, okay. I know, that's about it for kazoo jokes, I guess. I don't know. I played a kazoo because there's songs on there, on this album where there's, Carl plays the trombone and David plays the saxophone as well. And but they don't play them simultaneously at the same time, a union rule or something, I don't know. So here's a little tune about the cat, the outside cat. Everybody knows one, whether it's a real cat or just a real person who's just always on the fringe, on the outside. That's about that person.
Outside cat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's this cat in my hometown, hangs around the alley after the sun go down. He always plays it cool, plays by his own rules. That's the way it's always been, always on the outside looking in. Got a restless heart, a gypsy soul. Cats alone never be controlled. He always plays it cool.
He's the outside cat.
Plays by his own rules.
He's the outside cat.
That's the way it's always been, always on the outside looking in. Lots of folk cry, hey there, buddy, but don't you come in out all the rain. Just keeps on moving like doesn't hear a word they're saying. Living inside is not his thing. He's like the walls are closing in. He always plays it cool.
Yeah, he's the outside cat.
Plays by his own rules.
He's the outside cat.
That's the way it's always been, always on the outside looking at Tom. folks rock, hey there, buddy. But don't you come in out of the rain, yeah. That's the first time I've ever got applause from playing that kazoo, yeah, yeah. About ladies and gentlemen, Carl Roof on the upright. Lots of folks rock, hey there, buddy. Well, don't you come in out of the rain now. He just keeps on moving like doesn't hear a word they're saying. Living inside is an honest thing. He's like the walls they're closing in. He always plays it cool.
Easy as I can.
Plays by his own rules.
Easy as I can.
And that's the way it's always been. Always on the outside looking in. See me the bop be doo.
Easy as I can.
Beat it up, beat off.
Easy as I can.
Beat up, beat whoa, whoa, whoa.
Easy as I can.
Zippity bop be oh.
Easy as I can.
And that's the way it's always been. Always on the outside looking in. All right. You totally freaked me out with that applause to the kazoo solo. We don't get that in Quebec. They just go, "Quoi? C'est quoi ça?" And in Ontario, they may just go. Because we're Canadian, eh? All right, Jack. Jackie. Your own local Jackie Dembski is coming up to join us. Like I mentioned earlier on, we met Jackie at the NERPA conference when it was before Kurhanskin, eh? Was it in Kurhanskin or is it in both? Kurhanskin. It's in Kurhanskin. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But yeah, we met there. They had the NERPA conference there. Now it's in Connecticut.
Yeah, and when you cross the border there, you say, yeah, so where are you going, sir? Going to Kurhanskin. And they're like, huh? You can't possibly make that up.
Yeah, they said that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so first we're going to do a little tune called St. James Infirmary Blues. You like that? This will be on the next album there, too. So it's another song about death. Nothing more cheery than death. Start it off there, Carl. I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my baby there, laid out on a long cold table, so long and so cool and fair. Was down at old Joe's barroom, the corner by the square. Man, the drinks, they was served like usual, and the usual crowd was there. On my left, mighty Joe McKennedy, sides of bloodshot red. He turned to the crowds all around him. These were the very words that he said. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Man, you can search this a wide world over, never find a man as sweet as me. Come on, Jack. Give her another, man. When I die, please come and bury me. High top Stetson hat, put a $20 gold piece in my watch file. No, my friends will know that I died standing pat. I want 6 gamblers to carry my coffin, 6 women to sing me a song, put a jazz band in my tailgate to raise hell as we all roll along. Come on, Neil. Give me another, man. Give me another. Neil Elsmore from Chateauguay, Quebec. Come on, David, now. Now that's the end of our story. Have another shot of booze. And if anybody ever asks you, tell them I got the gambling blues. Tell them I got St. James Infirmary blues. Tell them I got man who needs gambling, the low down gambling. Got man who's the gambling blues. I'm gonna hear, bring it down. For ladies and gentlemen, on my left, I have not introduced this fellow yet. Carl Roof from Ormstown, Quebec. All right, bring it right down. I'd like to play with Carl here as we came in, and we'll go out. Now, this is Jackie Dembski on the fiddle violin. Neil Elsmore on the acoustic and electric guitar. David White on the electric guitar and soon to be saxophone. In the back behind us, we got Rob Couture from NDG, Quebec. Carl Roof from Ormstown. And my name's Kevin, and I come from the mighty metropolis of Dewitville, Quebec. Well, I got them gambling, low down gambling, got them old gambling blues. No, I've got them gambling, low down gambling, I got them damn blues. I got St. James Infirmary blues. I got St. James Infirmary blues. Tell 'em I got St. James Infirmary gambling blues. Thank you, Jackie Dembski. Right here, a half hour down the road. Now we got The Moon Won't Go Down. But you got to help us out, so we'll wait till he does that thing. Bill, you say you like us, but you only clap once every time. So, cool, this is our last tune. It's called The Moon Won't Go Down. It's off our first record, which we don't have anymore. It's sold out. So one day when we sell enough of these other records, we'll reprint them, and do that, Well, we won't print them, not like print, like grade school, but we'll put them out again. So you got to help us out here, though. How many singers we got in the audience? I know this is a really sophisticated audience, So even though there's only 4 or 5 of you, that's okay. Because that's good news, because really we don't want anyone who can sing on key, per se. We're looking for people that can howl at the moon. Can you howl like a wolf? Howl like a chihuahua. I don't know. Does a chihuahua howl? Howl like a hen, and there's always some cat person in the audience going, meow. So please don't rebel. So you'll know that your part will come up and you'll be going, oh, and it'll be a little bit ridiculous, but it'll be fun. The moon won't go down. Help us out, Daddy.
1, 2, 3.
The moon was a welcome sight when it rose up early in the night. Folks looked up in the air, they saw it hanging there. There were howls of delight, and the moon won't go down. The moon won't go down. Sun can't rise, no room in the sky. Moon won't go down. I met a girl with a dangerous smile. She looks me over predator style. Says, I'll give you a try. Don't get your hopes too high, 'cause I haven't tasted love in a while. And then a girl with a broken guitar sits down beside me at the bar. She sings me a song, it's 5 verses too long, about never knowing who we are. And the moon won't go down. Moon won't go down. Sun can't rise, no room in the skies. Moon just won't go down. Come on now.
All right. Yeah.
And a long-legged dancer named Lou says, you're unafraid of heights, now are you? She says, I've been all around. All I ever found are a lot of different shades of blue. And she says that ever since she turned 6, she dreams of getting out of the sticks. Now that she's not there, she sees walls everywhere. She can use a little space in a minute, and the moon won't go down. The moon won't go down. Sun can't rise, no room in the sky. Moon just won't go down. Come on. Carl Roof, man. Well, now up and down the streets of Norwood, Massachusetts, I roam. I'm just a long lost dog with nowhere to call home. I'm in a strange part of town. Lights keep spinning round. I can't remember how to get back home, and the moon won't go down. Moon won't go down. Sun can't rise, there's no room in the sky. The moon just won't go down. Sun cannot rise, there's no room in the sky. Muddy Waters did it, I can too. You know the moon won't go down. Oh, oh. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless. Thank you so much for having us out. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm not going anywhere. All right, thank you so much. All right. So we're going to take you to Quebec and do a little Celine Dion. No. All right, so really cool to be here. We got two tunes for you, a double one. Are you in regular tuning or open tuning?
We're going to do Frankie and Johnny right
Yeah, okay. All right. Anybody know the story of Frankie and Johnny? It's another song about death. But this time it's not natural causes, it's murder. But for those of you who are a little sensitive to violence and murder, I want you to be okay. I just want to, assuage it because it's not so bad because it's set to stripper music. And if you're going to kill somebody, might as well be sexy about it, I guess. I don't know. So this is the song about Frankie and Johnny. They were lovers. And you can help us out there. You know what the chorus is in it, or whatever the refrain is? He was a man, but he was doing a wrong. You can say wrong, or whatever you want to say. Hit it! Frankie and Johnny were lovers. Lordy, how they could love. Swore to be true to each other, just as true as the stars up above. He was a man, that's your line. doing her wrong. Frankie, she was a good woman. Johnny was a good man. Oh, but every dollar that Frankie made went right out of Johnny's hand. He was a man, but he was doing her wrong. Slide trombone. Oh, they went to the hotel, looked up the river so high. They said, "Our loving Johnny," but he was making love to Ollie Bly. He was a man, he was doing her wrong. Come on, David, now saxophone. Play one more for her, come on, give it up. Bring it down now. Frankie saw Johnny coming, and down the back door she scooted. Up came Frankie, baby. I tell you, boy, that gal can shoot. He was a man, but he was doing her wrong. Everybody, all in, let's go! Ow! We're having a blast here. Thank you again, eh? Durham County Poets. So Frankie went to the big chair, calm as a girl can be. She looked up above, they heard her whisper. She said, "Lord, here I come to thee." He was a man, but he was doing her wrong. What'd you say? He was a man, but he was doing her wrong last time. He was a man, he was doing her wrong. Thank you so much. You know, you ask yourself, how can that guy play upright bass and trombone? How can that guitar player play saxophone? Well, I'll tell you what, we come from a geeky community in Quebec, you know, and they were in a marching band. Yeah. Not the big elite Montreal marching band where they're parading for 17 miles down St. Catherine Street. Maybe it's not 17 miles, it's probably 7 miles or something. But right there on Lambton Street in Ormstown. That's a good 80, 90 yards each direction. You got to stop, turn around before you go in the river and go back to where you started. So it takes about 3 runs before you're through a tune, I guess. So I picked them out of the marching band and I made them cool.
Thank you, Kevin.
I'm so glad I'm cool now.
I can't believe it. You find me cool?
I can't wait to tell my friends in the marching band.
All right. So Neil is tuning up for our last song. I don't know if we just continue or do we want to stop and then do the snap and then continue.
That snap's making you nervous there, Kip.
I know. I wince every time.
So Neil's gonna tune up here, and I got a story. This song we're gonna do is a Muddy Mississippi Waters tune, and I was 19 years old the first time I heard Muddy Waters. I didn't even hear him. I just heard the names. I mean, you ever hear any Muddy Waters there, son? Because I was working at this hotel in Calgary, Alberta at that time, and then we had this guy that was sort of the lounge lizard, but a cool, kind of hip, older black guy, lounge lizard, and he played jazz and a little bit of blues, and so I'd say, "What's that song?" And he told me, and "What's that song?" And he told me, and he says, "Oh, you got to get some Muddy Waters, man." So I got some Muddy Waters. I listened to that, and I turned all my punk rock friends I turned 90% of my punk rock friends into blues fans. And then Muddy came, this would be 1981. In 1981, he came to Montreal and did a show at the Spectrum, and I was like, wow, I got tickets for Muddy Waters. And I was late because it said 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So I thought 8 o'clock was early. Turns out it was one set at 7 and one set at 9. Like, oh! So I heard outside the doors as I'm opening the door. There's not a lineup? What's going on? People don't know who Muddy Waters is. Come on. Open up the doors and you all hear, and it's like, what? So we go running, and me and my buddy Rick, and I can't remember who else was with me, and I went right down to the front of the stage. I put my elbows on the stage, and it was like a sock hop. They took the tables out of the middle, so it was like there's so many young people there, and I got to touch Muddy Waters' shoe or toe, and his foot was in it too. And I was just like kind of mesmerized. I'm 19, and I'm looking at his Telecaster, and his fingers are all bent up with arthritis. And he looked down at me, and Muddy Waters winked. Muddy Waters winked at me.
So now you got the mojo, Kevin.
So now I got the mojo, baby. Yeah, but we're not going to do mojo work, and everybody does that too. Great song. They're all great songs. But we wanted to do something that kind of like transitions from the acoustic to the electric. Because when Muddy first came to North, I guess, he still was playing with an electric guitar. I think he had a Sears Roebuck. Acoustic guitar. I think he had a Sears Roebuck archtop, and then they got electric eventually. So hopefully this will convey. Can't be satisfied. Thank you so much. Extended play sessions. Going away to leave, won't be back till fall. Going back down south, child. Honey, don't you want to go? People, I'm in trouble. Said I'm all worried in mind. Just can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. Feel like snapping, pistol in your face. I'm gonna lift some graveyard. I'll be your resting place. People, I'm trouble. Trouble in a worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. Know my little old baby, she gon' jump and shout. That old train come late, boy, I come jumping out. People, I'm trouble. trouble in a worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, I just can't keep from crying. Neil Ellsmore on the acoustic, come on now. Then the late 60s, come on, we got electricity now, come on, David. Little mano mano. Yeah, give it up. No, my little old baby man, she gon' jump and shout. That old train called lay bars, I come jumping now. People, I'm trouble. Trouble in a worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. Come on now, Carl, play that thing. Snapping, pistol in your face. I'm gonna let some graveyard be your resting place. People, I'm trouble. Trouble in a worried mind. I just can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. But I just can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. I just can't be satisfied, I just can't keep from crying. Thank you, good night. Bill Hurley. Fallout Sessions. Fallout Shelter, thank you so much. Extended Play Sessions. Norwood, Massachusetts. Shall we take a bow? Give yourself a hand. Appreciate it, thank you so much. Beautiful, man, thank you.
All right, we're going to take a short break, 10-minute break, and we're going to bring the guys back up and have a little Q&A. Stick around. There's some merch in the back. Have a drink, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Check. Check one.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to. I don't want to talk.
Is that coming through? Whoa. Check one, check one. There we go. You want to check these mics, guys?
Testing, 1, 2.
Testing, testing.
Testing 3, 4. I can count higher. Ha ha ha.
All right, let's roll cams. All right, here we go. Gentlemen. You came in peace.
We came in peace.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. That was a trip through the history of, true roots music. There was a little bit
Thank
of
you.
everything there, and that was just a unbelievable performance tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for these guys. Kevin, how long you been at this?
Oh, in 1986, I started. I had an accident in 1981, and I was a closet singer. And in '86, some friends of mine said, "Hey, Donnie Brisbois. Donnie Brisbois, yeah, wants to start a blues band in there." Oh, he's a Mohawk guy from Ganawage, Quebec, outside of Montreal. And so he said he wants to start a blues band. He's in a punk band, and you know blues tunes because I had a record collection, so I was there.
You touched Muddy Waters' toe.
Yeah, I touched Muddy Waters' toe,
You know.
and I almost got a get well card from B.B. King.
Well. So
And-
1986.
Yeah, '86. So the guys say, "Hey, man, you want to join the band?" It's like, "Oh yeah, it'll be fun." Like go in the basement, and Mike, Donnie's brother, was playing on paint cans and buckets, and that's cool. Yeah, so like, what's the plan? What do you guys do? Well, we were hoping you knew tunes. Oh, okay. I said, "Here's a Jimmy Reed tune. How's it go?" Well, I'm not a musician. It goes like this. Well, 2 minutes, and then they all followed them there. Okay, you guys can play. Wow, that's cool. That's good because we got a gig on Friday. I mean, what are you talking about? We got a gig on Friday. No, I don't want to do gigs. I just want to be in a band and have fun. No, don't worry, it's cool. It's a punk rock gig. It was the most ridiculous thing. It was this place that doesn't exist anymore, down a dungeon basement, and there was punk bands that at the time they pogoed or whatever, jumped up and down.
Pogo.
Yeah, and then there was the hair guys with the whip their heads around, go, and then I said, "You sure we're in the right place? We're gonna do blues, man." There was a girl up there with a rat on her shoulder and a mohawk, and so we started. Hi, we're Blind Lemon Pie. So at first they all went, "Cool," and then they started beating each other up and thrashing. And I said, "Yeah, that happens every time at a blues jam." Yeah. First mosh pit, blues band, Yeah.
Oh, this is the earliest I've lost an interview. First question. I'm done. So let's talk about putting these guys together now. This is there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I'll say a couple things and I'll because we can all input on this. Usually I just talk too much, But Neil and I, we've been since she was 16. I schooled him on my records like I got learned, And that's it. He would come out to our Blind Lemon Pie shows, and he was at 16 and a half. He was a fine guitar player, And so I said, "Here's Muddy Waters, here's this, here's some Jimmy Reed, here's some Elmore James, Gatemouth Brown, blah, blah, blah." And and we just had fun. So him and I have been playing since, what would that be, 89, 88? I don't know. Maybe, yeah, it's 89. And we played Canada Day. And Neil's come a long way. He's a fine musician. I remember when we first started playing, you know, I was like, we're doing Canada Day, and he would be sideways. And now he's good. So I met, and I've been playing with him. And then I moved. I got married to my lovely wife, Darlene, and moved from that community about 50 kilometers up the road. That would be about a mile and a half. No. In American money. And so I got up there, and then I met, I knew David for a long time. And so I started jamming with David sometimes, and Carl. And when I was jamming with another guy out in the country, out in the boonies, my friend says, there's Carl Roof. He's the bass player for, oh my goodness. Jimmy James. For Jimmy James. Jimmy James is the kind of the guitar god in Montreal that never leaves Montreal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Love you, Jimmy, wherever you are.
Montreal.
Travel. Show Canada and the U.S. what you're about. So, and anyways, so we convinced Carl to join us at a cafe, and I'll let you guys finish Neil and you guys.
Take it, Neil.
Take it, Neil.
Yeah, so Kevin and I were in a trio. We were in a little trio called Boll Weevil, and we're just like an acoustic band. And unfortunately, our bass player had passed on, and so we were apart for about a year. And then Kevin said, "Hey, let's get together in a cafe." And then that's when everything kind of happened, came together.
I just wandered in for a coffee, and they said, "Hey, pick up a guitar, just join us here, play a little."
There was always a guitar
We
on the wall.
we kind of gravitated towards each other. I guess we're all living in the same town, same village, and and I'd known David for years, and we were like in a marching band. He's playing. I learned how to play trombone when I was 35 years old, just on a dare from his brother. Says, yeah.
No kid.
Yeah, and then I went to one rehearsal, and I'm like, do, and I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, and they said, "Great, we have a parade tomorrow," and I can't play. Anyway, so we all gravitated together, and that's how that happened. And
We can really march. You should see us.
Oh yeah,
You know, there's a
one at a time.
We could demonstrate with
there's a musician's joke. There's a musician joke that there's a frog and a trombone player waiting for a bus. What's the difference? The frog's got a gig.
I like that. I'm going to steal that.
Don't take it personally,
You
Carl.
should. You definitely should
Steal it fair and
that.
square.
But you're an incredible bass player, and the changes. There was a lot of that. The chord changes in the middle of there's just a lot, and that tone.
Yeah.
I mean, the tone of the guitar tonight was just out of this world.
The baby blue.
Yeah, that's
it's
a
David
rare,
and the baby blue.
That's a rare guitar. There's not a lot of those out there. You know, that's man, the tone that thing. Well, the tone you get with that was amazing tonight. And I thought your playing was absolutely incredible tonight too. The slide playing was amazing. When you write, now obviously you're not a playing musician, so you're simply lyrics, or are you?
At first I was kind of lyrics and humming, and as I get more bold, I do the. Okay, Carl, you go. You want me to do those exact notes? No, you can play other notes too, but just I get that feel, you know.
But make sure those are in there.
And then Neil, you go. You go. And Rob, you bang on crap and stuff. And, But by the way, I must say, Carl and Rob Kutzer, the drummer, they were in my all-time favorite band. I mean, I'm not including the Stones, Muddy Waters, anybody. They had this band called the Echo Hunters, and I was just same thing, even more chord changes, like really kind of progressive, rootsy, folksy, beautiful music. Check them out. The Echo Hunters, they're still around on YouTube.
We want them back, but then we would lose them, and that's not good.
So blues music in Montreal has quite a following. It's a great blues town. It's a great jazz town, but it's also a really great blues town. And the jazz festival up there is probably more of a blues festival. It's probably always been more of a blues festival than a jazz festival. But there's so that part of the of Eastern Canada. Is that the primary music you think of that? Certainly not the Maritimes, where you have the Acadian music and a lot of folk influences and a lot of different things go. But Quebec.
Yeah, I think Quebec music is very much a blues rocking kind of thing there, and Ontario has its a slight variance on that as well. And the East Coast, you guys had Matt Anderson here. He's an East Coast guy, but he plays blues like nobody's business.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And we held a concert, a little outdoor concert that can hold no more than 24 people. And we had this guy, Mike McKenna Jr., and he's from Nova Scotia, just playing all those reels and all those lovely tunes and kind of putting his own spin on Nova Scotia sound. But yeah, I think if when we go to a folk festival or we go to a conference and we're Canadian in America, they say, "Oh, great, play that St. Johnny's Real Boy." Does it go dun 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 dun? Because we're lost with that stuff, really.
Well, I think Dawn Tyler Watson did win. Was it last year? Like in America, she won the Best
Montreal
Blues Act or something.
The every city and town in Canada, the U.S. has the wherever you're from to Memphis challenge.
Yeah.
They have the Montreal to Memphis, and Dawn Tyler Watson from Montreal went to Memphis and won the best band, and her guitarist won the best guitarist in all of Canada and the U.S. So we're like, wow. Yep.
We actually have the Boston Blues Society right here.
I know. I met them in.
You need Quebecers out
we
there.
did a gig in
jamming.
Pittman's Freight Room in whenever that was, a little while back, and we'll be there again in Laconia, and we met some of those folks.
Yeah. So that's we're kind of hoping that the club that used to be the place where they had the Boston Blues Challenge was a place called Johnny D's, which closed. And
okay.
So we're kind of making our bid to have the Boston Blues Challenge here.
Absolutely.
Let's
Bring
do
it
it.
on. Make it happen.
It would be the first time it would be broadcast live too.
Well, then all the more reason. Eh?
So anyway, we're hoping for that. I'd like to go through some of the progression of writing as a band with, certainly the primary songwriter of the band isn't really bringing finished music. So Dave, are you the guy that's really kind of the band leader here?
No, not really. No.
Not band leader.
Don't
but
listen to the
I
lies.
tend to bring songs, complete songs.
He writes songs about modesty a lot.
I don't really want to talk about that. Yeah. I tend to bring complete songs, and I write a lot. I have many songs. Yeah. So, but there's a real cool collaboration thing that goes on here. Like sometimes somebody will just go, "Okay, how about this?" And somebody says, "Oh, well, how about if you add this?" It's really magic, actually.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the band that's recording?
Yes. Yeah, Rob will be on our next album. We had before that a simple percussion, Jim Primel, and he was just a snare djembe. And he was actually not even a musician. And a lot of people love that about him. Because, wow, I really like it. You're like, all over the place. He just went boom, thwack, boom, thwack, boom, thwack, boom, and had a great time. But he was a really cool writer. He's a poet. Yeah. And now we have a professional drummer, percussionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rhythm section, the rhythm section tonight was the rhythm section was killer tonight. Yeah, it was great. And I wanted, so you can talk on this, the really broad spectrum of styles of music that you're playing, and writing original music in several different styles. It's not easy. It's not.
It seems actually easy just because that's our influences, I suppose. Like I've got a million influences. I started with the Beatles and Stones and through it all. So so it's a million things. You too, right?
A lot of jazz influences there tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of New Orleans influence tonight. A lot of Delta influence tonight. A lot of southeastern blues in the United States, completely different than Delta blues, and Piedmont blues is completely different style. Chicago blues, completely. Texas blues.
Yeah.
You mentioned Gatemouth Brown, and those are all really completely different styles of blues. And there was a lot of really interesting.
I don't think there's any conscious effort to do that. It just happens.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really. That's pretty. That.
Nobody sits down and says, "Okay, let's write a Piedmont song or something."
Yeah.
So it's really just kind of what comes to mind, and then if that's the path that it takes, that's.
We all grew up in the 70s, so that's what we experienced, and that's what kind of comes out of us, and it's quite natural. So I think it's just part of our psyche individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people ask, what's your influence? How can you answer? Life. Everything I've ever heard since I was Elvis is my dad. Did you get it from your father? Well, if I did, I'd be singing Mario Lancia. But I like Mario Lancia. I mean, I won't sing his songs, but nothing wrong. And I love all those crooning old things. I found myself like grooving to Frank Sinatra and stuff when I was a kid.
Al Jolson.
Al Jolson, yes, yeah. As Archie Bunker said, the representative of the black people in America. Well, he's your people. Archie Bunker, check it out, man.
Archie Bunker's the president of the United States.
Oh. It's all, you know what? A wise person once told me, this too shall pass. maybe like a kidney stone, but it'll pass.
Yeah. A kidney stone this big. Did you guys have a good time tonight?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are there places there really isn't places like this in, down here. There places.
This is the first I've ever seen anywhere that I know of. Yeah, yeah.
Any of you other guys?
See anything like that?
Well, the Pittman Freight Room's kind of is a little bit like this, but nothing
filming.
like this.
No filming, yeah.
No, none of that.
No.
But it's kind of eclectic, and this I walked in and I was like, wow, this I've never seen anything like this. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, it is really cool. I discovered you by randomly looking in YouTube, and I saw, I don't know how many years ago, Stephen Faring, a Canadian fella. To me, he's one of my absolute favorite singer-songwriters. He plays in Blackie and the Rodeo Kings too, a kick-butt blues band, rockin' everything band. But as a solo performer, I can't think of anybody better. Really, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's great. That was something we did down in Nashville. Another great Canadian artist that on that same trip down to Nashville that I got to interview, I was thrilled to death to interview Colin Linden.
Absolutely, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just a great interview, and talked all about the the sessions where they did the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"
Yeah.
soundtrack, and that it took him 6 months to be able to figure out "Hard Time Killing Floor." A guitar player that great. That and he said it took me 6 months to figure out what Skip James was doing in 1920. But yeah, there's. I mean, we've had some really, really great Canadian artists down here. Sultans of String is really a
Great
tremendous,
fellas. Great bunch of
band,
guys.
great guys. Corb Lund,
Corb is hilarious, too.
Corb's hilarious, great,
Yeah, yeah.
great singer songwriter. Are you familiar with Gordy Tentrees?
I don't think so. That
Check
one-
him out, man. He's a Western Canada guy from
Okay.
the Yukon.
Okay.
And I mean, like the Yukon. Like,
Okay.
he's like up by the Arctic Circle, Yukon.
Okay.
He's telling me this story one time, hilarious story about they have this thing every year where they drive the trucks across the ice.
Yes.
And he
Crazy.
said that there's at the start of that somebody in the town gets their finger cut off on purpose, right? Get your finger cut off, and it gets put in a bottle of whiskey, and you have to drink the whiskey, and you have to catch the finger. And he was telling me that they do this every year before the trucks go across
Wow.
the ice.
That's
But you got to
crazy.
check him out. He writes some really incredibly cool stuff. And talk to him about lopping off the finger. Look at that on.
You're going to have to remind me and
it's
put
up
that
there.
name down, man.
And certainly Matt Anderson's a favorite, a
He's
favorite
crazy
of ours.
killer.
I absolutely love Matt Anderson.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy. Roger Marin.
Roger Marin.
Roger Marin's an Ontario guy. Check him out too. He's really good.
We're okay. We're partnering with Ontarians. now.
Yeah. No, there's.
We are beginning to accept them as fellow brothers. Yeah.
Were you guys around when that, during that whole thing in the 70s when they took over the radio station in Montreal?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I was a kid, but yeah. I
Yeah,
was a
you remember that?
boy. Yes.
Remember that when they took over came in with the guns and everything? They took over the radio station.
Yeah.
And then the owner of the radio station comes down and he negotiates and he says, "All right, well, then they all leave, and they get what they asked for." It was like, only in Canada can you actually, have that. It's amazing.
We bring out the big guns. We'd say things like, "Don't, come on, man, don't do that."
That's our negotiating.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, think of the consequences.
Anybody have any questions? I know somebody said that they. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was the worst player.
Oddly, none of us actually. Well, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I'm 57. When I said, "Mom, I want to play hockey," so you're like a 6, 5.5, whatever. Well, hockey in Quebec was outdoors back then. This was before they put the arena in Chateauguay. So you're sitting on the bench, minus 30. I don't want to play hockey. And my mother says, "You're going to finish the year. And then if you still don't want to, you don't have to."
And that
Okay.
was it.
That was it. That's
Tell me about-
horrible. I mean, what kind of terrible representation? 5 guys from Canada, they must be hockey. No. I like
So
watching
let's
it.
talk about the new album. You're going in to record a new record?
We're going to start, yeah. We're still in the process of writing, and actually now I realize how we need to have a talk. We're like behind, but man, we're gonna do it right, and we want to, it's a learning curve. The first time we said, hey, we got songs, because David has 1 million songs, and Neil had 500,000 songs, and I had dozen songs. And Jim could write anything on the spot that was totally twisted and warped. So there was a lot of magic there, So we came out with our first record, and we made it for I think we begged, borrowed, and stealed, and did it for $1,000 or something like that, you know, and we sold them all. Well, no, we made our money back in 6 months. It's like, shit, that's not so hard. Do that again. Let's spend twice the money next time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. So we spent like $2,500, and last album we spent. I forget. He's the financial guy.
We spent 10 grand.
Did we spend 10,000?
Yes. Sorry.
So we'll be.
We
taking,
told you 5, but it was 10.
We'll be taking any donations.
The last Grimshaw Road. That's been what, almost
It's a year,
year and a half?
a year and a month, a year and a month. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Grimshaw Road is Dave wrote that song, and
Great song.
It's a really good song, and it's a road actually that is in the area where David, Carl, and Kevin live, and it is kind of if you listen to the song, you listen to it lyrically, that road really does kind of like typify that whole thing, you know.
Mood.
Yeah, it is kind of like almost a creepy
It is a metaphor, though.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? If you haven't
the
been
metaphor?
to Quebec, you know Montreal is as cosmopolitan a city as there is in the world.
Yeah.
But I mean, 10 minutes out, it's farm country. I mean,
Yeah.
it is rural.
Yeah.
As rural as Kansas or Nebraska or
That's
you
right.
know, as rural as you can get, and it's just like flat farm.
Partly because it's an island. It's so the
Yeah.
state where the city is, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but even the Montreal, you don't hit the suburbs of Montreal until you're maybe 15, 20 minutes out.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
City.
wow, and then.
Nothing.
It's cows and farms and an occasional strip club right on
Yeah.
right on the road, and then it's boom.
You went in the 70s, man, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been back to Montreal since probably 2004, 2005 when I got Justine.
Yes. Great story.
But that was always my favorite part of it. You leave Vermont and then it's just like. And these little cool shops and stores every once in a while, and it's and then Drummondville, where every hockey stick I ever used in my life was made, and it's just really, really cool. It's just very, very rural. I didn't know that until the first time I actually went up there. And you guys are from that rural part of
That's right, yeah.
Quebec,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that comes into your writing quite a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like for instance, the river that runs behind his house runs behind my house. That river that on our first record was called "Where the River Flows," and Kevin wrote that tune, and he was just looking out his window and he dreamed up this song, and that same river passes by David's house next, and then it passes by my house, and then it passes by your house.
Yeah.
And where Rob grew up, so same river.
What's the river?
Chateauguay
Chateauguay
River.
River.
Yeah.
It comes from Chateauguay Lake in Chateauguay, New York, right as the Adirondacks kind of like, at the end of it's still the Adirondacks, and then it falls down, and then we live in the Chateauguay Valley, so it goes bloom down, and you're in Quebec, and that's rural farmland there.
and then it goes to the St. Lawrence River.
And it goes
which
to
is
St.
Montreal.
Lawrence, yeah.
And there was a famous battle there, right where I live.
Yes.
It was called the Battle of Chateauguay, and this is when I think the
When we kicked your butt.
Oh, is that? Wait a minute. That's when you burnt down the White House.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to remind the president that, the Canadians never really burnt down the White House.
Yeah.
You just made that up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Colonel de Salaberry, and he was the general.
No,
Colonel.
he stopped an invasion. They wanted to take Montreal, and they kind of stopped them there. And Salaberry de Valleyfield was working with the British, I think, and then he recruited Mohawks and English Army, I guess, and they kind of stopped them. They fished a musket out of the river,
Yeah.
just right, like I was going to say kilometer, half a mile from my house. Just recently, they fished out an old musket from
The
that battle.
Americans crossed at Dewitville, where I live. But to be fair, you know, we won that battle. But to be fair, we won it by cheating, sort of. We didn't have enough people, so everybody ran around. Everybody was afraid of Mohawks. So they said, Colonel, you gonna run around and go, ah, and like just shout fear of the god into them. And it was the worst winter on record, or summer on record. It was like winter. Apparently, it was like a mini ice age. So by the time the Americans got to Canada, they said, how much further we gotta go?
They said, forget it. Let's go home.
Let's go home.
Really, that was it. Because I go to the Battle of Chateauguay Museum and learn all about it, and it's a classic dated 1970s film. Like, oh, we will resist the American invasion. So you're like all like, you know, infiltrated with false information, and you ask them, "Did I believe that?" Well, not really. What really happened was nobody wanted to fight anymore. They were like,
That's my kind of war, really.
and they said, "Oh, they're Canadians. They're cool.
Nobody wants to get hurt. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. You know,
God, they're shooting at us."
yeah, this is crazy. Let's go home. The heck with this. Did you guys feed off the audience a bit tonight?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great audience. Absolutely.
I ask this to a lot of bands. Does that change the dynamic of the show? Can it change
Absolutely.
the dynamic on a dime?
Totally. Totally. If people are howling like we want them to, and they're really going at it, that totally drives the band, and it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. You get applause from the first, when you get that extra woo, like at the beginning. It's like you're suddenly in the zone, You just feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your audience has it going on in spades, really, because we do play a lot more in Ontario than we do play in Quebec, because I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to French. I can speak a little bit, but not
Il
fluently.
ne parle pas français.
Ne parle trop bien, moi, toi, là. But we did it. We go to the Ottawa Valley, and Ottawa, Ontario is ultra conservative. They're like what would you call those? The colonialists. The old-fashioned. Yeah. Kind of a little bit. They're well-to-do and a little snobby, maybe reserved, but reserved. Edit that snobby part there. That's going to be on YouTube, eh?
No.
The Ontario people are a beautiful bunch of people, especially in the Ottawa Valley. But the funny thing is, I make fun of them, but it's not because we did this show in Ottawa, and there was a guy, and I mean, he's sitting right there, right? He's like 18 inches from my feet, and he'd be like about 75, and he was like this, looking me in the eye the whole time.
It was,
And
American Gothic, the painting with the
Yeah,
the pitch.
American
That's
Gothic.
the guy.
And Carl's like playing, and I'm like, looking everywhere but there. And then Carl looks at me, he goes, whoa. It's like, and I'm like, da-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And it's like, oh, wow, this is killing me. Please put somebody else there. Put him in the back, please. And it's like, wow, I guess he really didn't like us. His wife was probably, every once in a while doing this. It's like, But at the end of the show, he says, I really want to thank you for that show. That was really well done. What was that song you did? Which is, in my opinion, the worst song on the record. There, it's like, I want that song. What album is that on? Wow, okay, thank you very much. They're just different. People are different. And then if you get the Quebecois French, you do this. You go, ka-da, wow, and they're up and jumping, and it's like party time. It's like, oh, I guess we better keep it upbeat then, I guess.
You could travel the United States, and you probably all have traveled extensively throughout the United States, and you know that there's, even in New England, people from Maine are completely different than people from Massachusetts. Is Canada as provincial?
Oh,
I mean, could you tell somebody from different parts? I mean,
Yeah.
Within Quebec, you have different French accents. You know, Montreal has a certain accent, and the Saguenay region has an accent. And if you go further out east, the further you go, it's more like French, like France French. And if you go to les Îles de la Madeleine, which is near Nova Scotia, I guess, they really have a French. They sound more, like from France. And there's like almost like dialects, and they'll say certain expressions like instead of saying hands like main, they'll say mittens. You know, put your mittens on this or that kind of thing. And throughout Canada, sure, there's an absolutely different choice of people. And go to the East Coast, it's a certain type of people that live there, and you definitely notice it.
We're all equally different. Insane.
but it seems that it's that you know, it's more one. You know, even in all of the in all of the differences in all the different provinces, but still Canada is a little bit more together than you know than we are down here right now.
I think we gotta. I think we're
Yes, because it's very extreme right now.
Yeah, well, it's very extreme, and it's not really been this way for at least ever in my lifetime. But
we have our politics, though. You know.
oh yeah, for sure.
You know, we have the Quebec is kind of almost, you know, wanting to be its own entity amongst a certain percentage of the populace, you know. That's what they call the Parti Québécois, and so their agenda is, you know, let's make Quebec its own nation and divide from Canada. That's been going on for like a long, long time, and it's
Quiet
never come to
revolution.
fruition. But I mean, they have a wonderful culture, and you know, it should be preserved. And you know, it's so there are always issues, but I always look to Canada as a very united nation, you know, so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we're not.
And we are a minority in. If you're an English-speaking person, you are a minority in Quebec.
Yeah.
And I love the political instability because you can afford a house.
Yeah, you can afford housing there.
Well,
let me
you
tell
got
you.
there for
And your Medicare is
90,000?
paid for. Come on,
Yeah.
Medicare. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for
Thank
taking this
you.
trip.
Thank you.
Thank you to you guys.
Well worth it.
Do you have plans to come back down here at any point?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. We
Con-
want to
consider that an invitation.
Absolutely, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Accepted.
Yeah, when you get this new record, you know, or you know, just if you feel like, you know what, let's go down and you know, hang out in Boston for a couple of days.
We're
Please
gonna
come
send it
back.
to the Boston Blues Society.
Yeah.
Please,
We'll be
please
in
come
touch.
back.
Love you.
I'd love to have you back. And thank you again for coming out, and go Canada.
Go USA.
Thank you, Bill.
Power to the people.
Connor, roll the credits.